Hi, it's Lisa from Lollipop Box Club. I am working with the Cocoa Daisy Marrakesh kit today. I design for Cocoa Daisy and get a kit sent to me every month. I used to receive the kits for years and before I joined the design team, and so now as a member of the design team I get sent one every month and I just love the kits. So today I am working with a few different photographs. I've already trimmed my photographs down to size. I do tend to create layouts that are multi-photo layouts, which I quite like doing. For years I used to just do them with one big photo, but I tend to scrap with smaller photos these days. I took a piece of paper already from the main kit. It is American Crafts from the Chamel Starshine collection. I thought the paper matched really well with the brickwork and the blossom in the photos. I just think it all ties in really nicely. So I've prepared a little bit already before starting this video. So I am going to start with sticking down my white cardstock. I've trimmed a centimetre off each side already, so that will stick nicely in the centre, more or less. Yep, that will do. Okay, and now I'm going to add a little bit of paint to my layout. Oh, if I can get the top off. I should have put an apron on, shouldn't I? I'm wearing a white top. That's not the wisest of choices, especially as it's a new white top. I don't want too much out, so that's why I'm going quite careful. So literally just a tiny bit there, and I'm dipping it in the water. I don't want huge amounts on my page, so just literally washing it a bit more. I like the unevenness, how it's going on. There we go, and I think just a tiny bit more and then I'll be done. Also, you don't want too much water on the page because it will start to make the page warp a little. Whoops, that was a bit too much. Let's do, it's not working so well actually. No. There we go. Yep, I'm happy with that. I'm going to go and dry that off now. My paint is now dry, so I can move on to the next part. I am going to start sticking down my photographs and also my journaling. I have journaled onto one of the Cocoa Daisy Day in the Life cards. When I did this, I changed the measurements for the paper on my PC, and then I did a practice run to make sure that I've got it okay. So that's that. And I've got my photos here, so let's decide where they're all going and then we'll stick them into place. The page is a little bit bumpy at the moment, but that's fine, I can work with that. Okay, make sure that's centre. Start sticking that down. I'm going to want to slide, I've already decided I'm going to be sliding in some other card, so I know not to stick the whole piece down. I want to leave the gap around the outside, so I can do that later. I tend to print my photos with a nice white border just to make them look nice and clean. I like that look. And the last one. There we go. And that's that done. Now I was going to stick this at the top. This was the piece at the bottom that's got the company details on. I always like to keep these, so I'm going to attach that to the top there. I'll trim that in a moment. I've got an idea what I'm going to be doing with that already. Set the double-sided tape. If you get a little bit sticking out over the top, you can just rub it and it comes off. to start cutting up my colouring in page. I've been colouring this morning. This was one of the exclusive papers for Cocoa Daisy this month, designed by Ali, and I was colouring in just whilst watching some Disney Channel on the YouTube this morning. So I'm going to cut these out. So I've been busy cutting away, and I did a little more colouring as well. So it's now time to start piecing them together. I've used watercolour pencils on these. They are the Derwent pencils. I really like these. It's quite a large set, but I tend to find that some of the colours are quite similar. There's no kind of real pastel-y shades, so I think I need to get another set. I do really enjoy using them though. I'm only going to put a little bit of tape in the middle there because I'm not quite sure yet where all these pieces are going. Do I want that one? Let's see. At least then if I haven't stuck them down, I haven't committed, so I can then just move them around. That's that. Good. Pop that one. Actually, let's do that at the back. There. That goes in nicely. And let's pop that one down there. Now I'm about to try something. I'm not quite sure how this is going to look. Let's pop a bit more tape on the back of my photograph. I'm not very gentle with things, am I? There. Now I'm going to run a little bit of paint. Oh, I've got another leaf here. Yeah, let's keep going. I'm going to run a little bit of paint over these, as they are watercolour pencils after all. Let's make the most of them. That looks a little odd, doesn't it? It's better. So let's run that down. And the idea is obviously then my page picks up some of the colour. Let's brush that up as well. Go sideways a little bit. And we'll do the same on the next side. And the colours all will bleed in together. Yeah, I quite like that. Really makes the colours vibrant as well if you look how the orange has changed. Let's brush along there a little bit. There. I'm going to go and dry that off now. My page has dried really nicely now, so I'm ready to move on to the next step. I am going to just tear these photos up very slightly, just in a couple of places, I think. Just wrap the scissors down the edge of them. I don't usually do this kind of thing, but I quite fancy doing that today, just to have a change. There we go. Do a little bit on this side as well. Scrape along there a little bit. That down there. Let's do a little bit on the top as well. There, not too much, just a little bit. Okay, now I've got some tags here from the same paper collection. I thought I might cut a couple of these up. I haven't decided where I'm using them yet. I just quite like them, so I'm going to cut these out. I don't always have an idea of what I want to do when I start scrapbooking. It's just sometimes bits and pieces that I see in the kit that I like, and then I cut them out or have them ready, and then I make my mind up. And sometimes I do this and then I don't use them anyway. But for me, part of the enjoyment of scrapbooking is the playing, and that's what this is here. So they are cut out. Those colours match nicely. I'm just going to use my big bite to put a hole in these. There and there. Could pop them there. I've got some ribbon here. maybe the yellow one would be better. Too much green, I think. Let's see what the yellow looks like. And even if I don't use them on this one, I will use them again on another project anyway. Let's take that green off. That felt like too much green on the top there. I'll tell you what I could do. Let's put this in like that. I think the yellow needs to go on the outside actually. And then what I will do is lift that up to tie underneath. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Pop that under there. I like that contrast of the having the green. And then that there. Okay, let's pop that underneath. I'm going to use sticky foam pads to hold those in place. I still don't know if I like this actually. Just going with it at the moment, see how it looks. Okay, I've messed these up now. Can't remember how that was, and that doesn't look right. That's better. There we go. That's that. So I'll trim the ribbon. Add a bit of tape to hold that in place. I quite like that. I have got Free Spirit. Don't know if I'm using that one yet. We shall see. I'll move that one for the time being. Now I want to work on my title, which is going to be Favourite Spot. I have decided already that I'm going to paint that. Just wondering which colour. In fact, I am going to paint that in pink, I think. I don't know. I'm using this for spot underneath, so it needs to be a contrasting colour. Let's go with an orangey colour. I'm going to dip that in my water. And I'm going to paint that very roughly. I think I might go over in the pink actually. So it's a bit of a two-tone. Yes. Roughly done in orange. And now I'm going to go over in the pink as well. So we've got both colours on there. A bit more water. Dry it off. Yeah, happy to use that. Let's put some double-sided sticky tape on the back of the word. The words can be quite fragile, so be careful, the little wooden words, when you use them. And then I'm going to use this alphabet set which came with the Cocoa Daisy Day in the Life kit and make the word spot. So this page is now called Favourite Spot. Oh, that needs to be slightly higher. squiggly, these letters, aren't they? And T. That's a good job. I didn't check to make sure I had all my letters there, so that worked out quite well. There we go, that's the title done. And I am going to use this stamp, and again I am going to use the same pencils, I think, on this stamp, and that way it all ties in nicely on the pink. Hopefully that's not too watery. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do that again actually. I have 2 of those. There, like that. To be careful not to smudge those because obviously they're wet. The other thing I was thinking about using from the kit, yeah, I'm going to pop that on there with a little bit of foam tape. Actually, I've got a piece here already I can use. I think I'm nearly done. There. I've now decided to add a couple more bits. My layout's nearly finished. I've decided to repeat the title. I'm really happy with how that's gone, but I've got another word. I do like balance. I like, if I've got something somewhere, I like to have something somewhere else, so there is a kind of balance. So I am going to repeat the pattern with the wooden heart, the wooden letters, and I am going to colour these in really quickly. Sorry, I know you can't see this, I'm just speed colouring in here. Let's move this back over to here. Nice vibrant orange. I love how when you add water to the watercolour pencils, they just really come to life. The colour is just beautiful. It just becomes so much more vibrant. There we go. I love the fact that you can see both the pink and the orange. So these can be stuck, this can be stuck in place now. Double-sided sticky tape. And we're going to have love, DC. Let's see how these fit. That's worked out well. Stroke of luck. Definitely not through planning, that's for sure. The next one. Okay, so that's that done now. I have a tiny little bit of blossom, which I am going to add to my page. I've just got some glue, and that is going to work down there. I have a badge, or a piece, a flare from the kit. I think it may have been from the Day in the Life kit, but I'm not 100%. That is going to go up there. Everything's really coming together nicely now. And there is just one more thing I want to do. Again, I haven't tried this before. Let's hope it goes well. I am going to use my pencils to drip colour. Yes, that's worked really nicely. And let's do that with the orange as well. I just felt like it just needed a bit of colour down there. Oh, too much pink. I like that. Sort of like the pink of the cherry blossoms, isn't it? page is done now. That can dry off nicely. And actually, I'm changing my mind. I am going to add a border to my photos. I'm terrible at changing my mind. I'm always adding bits and pieces. Just a rough border, being careful not to smudge, which I've just done. Just flick that out the way. Yeah. I do love to doodle. There we go. My photos just stand out just a bit better. This was taken of a shop window anthropology next to where we were eating in Georgetown. The cherry blossoms were just everywhere, in window displays, on souvenirs. It was very pretty. There we go, and let's go around this journal card. Okay, yep, let's do this as well while we're at it. And I know my hand is in. I've made a mess. That's so typical of me. I just do things and think about them later. There we go. It will dry off though, and it will look absolutely fine, as if that was meant to happen. And then somebody will say on the Cocoa Daisy board, how did you achieve that technique? And 9 times out of 10, it's always by mistake. For me anyway, that's always the case for me. Right, I'm going to go and dry this off and I will come back and show you. So there you have it, my finished layout using the Cocoa Daisy Make It and the Day in the Life kit. I've really had lots of fun with this page, as you can see. It didn't quite go in the direction of where I wanted. I tried some new things, going over the pencils with the water, which I really loved. I love how the green's coming about, and then splashing around using the watercolour pencils on the end of my paintbrush with lots of water. I'm really happy with this page. I like the messy look. I love all the different colours. So I'm very happy with this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed watching me experiment a little and having some fun. Thank you for joining me. Bye.